One of the signs of the nearness of the second coming of Jesus is that people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, and unholy. 2 Timothy 3 verse 2. What will happen when people cannot buy or sell? People are changing as we near the second coming of Jesus, just like what is happening in New York City. And what are the 8 stages of last day events based on Revelation? I'm Jericho for Truth in Bible Prophecy. Thank you, dear friends, for supporting this ministry. Kindly share and like this prophecy study. Is the no buying and selling in the book of Revelation literal or symbolic or both? I believe that the no buying and selling is literal. In the last great conflict of the controversy with Satan, those who are loyal to God will see every earthly support cut off because they refuse to break His law. In obedience to earthly powers, they will be forbidden to buy or sell. Business transactions will be prohibited. Bank accounts will be frozen. Cards will be inactive and canceled. But God has 1,000 ways to provide for His people. The no buying and selling in the book of Revelation is literal, but in addition, I believe that there is a spiritual and symbolic meaning to it also. Time will come that you will not able to buy or sell the truth of God's word. Proverbs 23 verse 23, buy the truth and do not sell it. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. When no buying and selling is enforced, will stealing be an option? Where will the people of God get their food and basic needs? Let us first study the 8 stages of last day events. Event number 1, Antichrist Wounded. Revelation 13 verse 3. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded. This deadly wound was given by France when Pope Pius VI was taken prisoner by Napoleon's armies in February 19, 1798. Upon his refusal to renounce his temporal power, Pius was taken prisoner and transported to France. He died 18 months later in Valence. The little horn Antichrist ruled from 538 AD to 1798. He trampled the truths of the sanctuary, just as the angel explains to Daniel. 1798 is the time of the end. Reading on in Daniel 8 verse 9. And out of one of them came a little horn, that's the Antichrist, which grew exceedingly great toward the south, toward the east, and toward the glorious land. But he said to me, understood, Son of man, that the vision refers to the time of the end. Furthermore, the same panorama can be seen in Daniel 7 and Daniel 11. In Daniel 7, the little horn slays the saints of God for a period of 1,260 years. In Daniel 11 verse 31 to 39, we find the description of the same period, only now the little horn is called the King of the North. Reading on in the Bible, but at that time of the end, 1798, the King of the South, atheistic communism in the French Revolution, arises against the King of the North, the papacy, and gives it the deadly wound. But then we are told that the King of the North regains its power and once again goes out to slay the saints of God in Daniel 11:40 to 45, and those who will not receive the mark of the beast. Event number 2, judgment begins. Daniel 8 verse 13. Then I heard a holy one speaking to another holy one, said to that certain one who was speaking, how long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices and the transgression of desolation, the giving of both the sanctuary and the host to be trampled underfoot? And he said to me, for 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed, according to the Hebrew sanctuary of Daniel 8 verse 14, combining it with Leviticus 23:27, the 10th day of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement. It falls on October 22, 1844. In Daniel 7 verse 10, God the Son meets the Ancient of Days, God the Father. The courts are seated and the books are open. open? Because judgment begins in the courts of heaven. Jesus made a move from the holy place to the most holy place, just like how the high priest in the earthly sanctuary performs the Day of Atonement. Revelation 22 verse 12. I am coming quickly, Jesus said, and my reward is with me. In order to know which reward to give, an investigation must be performed based on what is written in the books. Question: what are these books that are open? Our good deeds are written in the book of remembrance, Malachi 3:16. So to speak, God has another Jericho Valdez in heaven in written form. This record of each person's character, self-identity, or individuality is carefully preserved in the heavenly books. Event number 3. United States transitionary period. Revelation 13 verse 11. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. This beast has 2 horns like a lamb, but spoke like a dragon. The dragon-like speaking is a reference to the deceptive and seductive talk of the serpent in the Garden of Eden, Genesis 3 verse 1-5. As the prophets are the mouthpieces of God, so this end-time power is the mouthpiece of Satan. False prophets in the Bible claim to be God's representatives with a message from God, yet they lead people away from God. There is only one power that appeared in history in the post-medieval period that fits the description of the lamb-like beast of Revelation 13, the Protestant United States. Horns represents kings and kingdoms or governments, Daniel 7:24, Daniel 8:21. They represent America's 2 governing principles, civil and religious liberty. This land-like power with the description of Christ the Lamb will exercise all the authority of the first beast, the papal beast. United States right now is in that transitionary period. That's why you have the Christian nationalism. America is trying to use religion to control the government. We now have a Catholic US president who is a strong supporter of Pope Francis, Joe Biden. Event number 4, Sunday law enforced. Revelation 13 verse 12. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. John says that the land beast will do all the bidding of the first beast, the papacy, and will cause it means force the world to worship him and receive his mark. When the issue on climate change became a world issue, you will notice that the papacy was involved heavily in suggesting solutions to the crisis. And the main point is to enforce a day of rest called Green Sunday Movement for the sake of saving the environment. Oh, Biden is also a strong advocate of the Go Green campaign of Rome. Revelation 13 verse 15. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause, as would not worship the image of the beast, to be killed. Event number 5. The mark of the beast received. Revelation 13 verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Those who succumb to the pressure applied by this institution will receive a mark with the beast's name on their right hand or their forehead. Event number 6. Satan counterfeits Christ's return. Revelation 13 verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles. Atheism is seeing, is believing. How can you make an atheist unite with the Antichrist? A massive miracle. The crowning act in the great drama of deception at the end of time, when Satan will impersonate Christ in an attempted counterfeit of the second coming in different parts of the earth. Satan will manifest himself as a majestic being of dazzling brightness, resembling the description of the Son of God given by John in the Revelation. He heals the diseases of the people, and then in his assumed character of Christ, he claims to have changed the Sabbath to Sunday and commands all to hallow the day which he has blessed. This is the strong, almost overmastering delusion of Satan. Satan would deceive the very elect, Matthew 24 verse 24. And Christians will only be able to detect the counterfeit only by the objective Word of God. If they rely upon subjective human senses, they will be lost. Event number 7, great time of trouble. In this event, Michael will stand up.
Michael is Jesus' military name, and his intercession ceases in the most holy place. Daniel 12 verse 1, At that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince who stand watch over the sons of your people, and there shall be a time of trouble. This is the great time of trouble for the wicked, for God will pour his wrath on those who has the mark of the beast. Revelation 14 verse 9, If anyone worships the beast and his image, and receive his mark on his forehead or on his hands, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God. Revelation 15 verse 8 reflects this idea, telling us that before the 7 plagues are poured on rebellious humanity, Christ's mediatory ministry in heaven will be concluded. The door of opportunity will ultimately close, and the destiny of every person will be decided. Event number 8, the second coming of Jesus.
We are in the prophetic timeline of last day events. We are between Revelation 13 verse 11 and 12. I believe that God is testing this final generation, a generation that I believe that will witness the second coming of Christ. And our greatest motivation to be born again is to be with Jesus for eternity. Fear God, give glory to Him, and worship Him. Is this your desire, dear friends? Kindly type in the comment section, eternity with my Jesus. Our only security is in the Word of God. Walk with Jesus today, friend, and continue to share truth in Bible prophecy.